souls. This is Valeria Maritza here at Healing Through You. I am an infinite being of light, and so are you. Today, I'm bringing you a message straight from the angels, and this is what they're saying. How can you even think there might be the slightest possibility of failure in your life? That is the message that I received this morning during automatic writing. You guys know I do automatic writing every day, mostly every day. I usually skip on weekends for some reason. But what is automatic writing? When you connect with your higher self, with the angels, with God, with the light, whomever it is that you work with, and you get it on paper. Basically, that's what it is. So the angels gave me that message this morning. And they really wanted me to share this because we live in our three-dimensional physical bodies. And in our physical bodies, we are governed by our ego most of the time. And I say it with a gist because the more we give into the fear of not having, the fear of something bad's going to happen, the fear of I can't do it, the fear of trying something new, whatever it is, that is put on us by our egos to keep us protected, right? We used the ego very well, like hundreds of years ago in the time of the caveman, when we were like, okay, I see an animal coming over to eat me, I better run, right? If I go in that way. So I have that fear and it gives me adrenaline and I run and I escape, right? And there was all of these things that we as humans were going through at that time. And that is instilled in our DNA. So we are made to use our ego properly by not wanting to do new things, not trying things that scare us because we might get eaten, right? But except there is nothing to eat us right now. We are just scared. We're just carrying that in ourselves. So whenever we see things on TV, on the news, mostly on the news this past couple of years, where everything is so daunting and so scary, right? Because why? We eat this up. We eat all of the bad news. We want to know more, right? Oh, there's an accident on the street. Oh, well, everybody wants to see what happened, to see if they can see if the person that got hurt, why? And then you see, if you get to see something, you're like, oh, that poor person, and you feel so bad, or you can feel the pain or whatever. But we really want to see it. It's like entertaining. I personally don't like to see this stuff. I usually don't look at this stuff, but this is what we are used to doing and looking at, right? It's just something inside of us that makes us want to do it. And so when we continue to put our attention on things like that, what happens is that we find more things like that to make us scared, to keep us small, right? I have spoken to so many people about who are telling me, oh, I was thinking of doing this and that, and I'm like, do it, yeah, go ahead. And they're like, yeah, but, and then they have a list of 100 things of the buts, right? Not the right time. If I do this, then that. All kinds of things, all kinds of things, all kinds of excuses. And then what happens is that they don't do anything. And I'm not talking about not doing anything like in the moment. It ends up most of the time not doing it, period. Like months, years going by, and nothing has changed. And then you speak to these people 2, 3 years later, and they're still dreaming about that thing they wanted to do. And it could have been something minor like selling a house and moving somewhere else, right? Okay, maybe it's not so minor, but like nothing that's like going to kill you, right? It's just like a dream that you want to do, but then you find all of these little issues and reasons why you don't want to do them. And the reason that we give into this fear, the reason is because, and this is how we tell it to ourselves, because we're not saying, oh, I'm not going to do it because I'm afraid. No, what we're saying to ourselves is, I can't do it because the kids are still in school. I don't have a good job. So and so is sick. I want to be closer to my friends. There are no friends over here. It's the market is not really good right now. I don't know if I can find the right house. I really love the house the way I look at it. All kinds of things, right? These things go in your mind like 1,000 things in 1 second. They're just going and going and going, and you um, convince yourself that it is not the right time to do it. Yet, when you are going to fall asleep, and when you're just waking up and you are not listening to the ego, and then you wake up or you're falling asleep with that dream keeps coming back. Ah, wouldn't it be nice to have a beach house? Or just move to this other state? Or just get rid of that property that I had that's really downing on me? Yeah, it's a rental. Yes, it brings me money, but it's so much work and I just always feel so heavy when I think of it. Then you wake up and then you start thinking again, and then the ego convinces you again that this is not the right time for you. And then that happens. And so it's when you have those little glimpses of, I want to, and then there's your dream. Fill in the blank. What is it you want to do? Jump off an airplane, travel the world, just sell everything and just be a nomad somewhere, right? Whatever it is, your crazy idea, write a book. Maybe that's what it is. I don't know. Whatever it is, do it. And you don't have to do the whole thing right now. All you have to do is take action. One little piece of action. So let's say you want to sell that house, that rental house that you have that's downing you, right? Well, what's the first thing to do? Hmm, there's so many things, right? Well, I could call a realtor and say, "Hey, I want to do this. I'm thinking of selling this house." And you know what that little phone call is going to do when you talk to a professional about selling your house? That professional is going to say, "Okay, well, this is what we need to do." And they're going to tell you, inform the renter, take pictures, when is this going to be, what's your timeline, and then you're going to be having to answer like, "Oh, wait a second, I don't know, okay, I'll tell them." And then this is what it's going to feel like inside of you. But that person, because they're not attached to whatever it is that you're attached to, they just know that this is what you're going to do, this is what you want to do, that's why you're contacting them. They're just giving you the telling you what you have to do. Okay, first do this, second do that, third do this. And then you do them. And then you start doing them. And then all of a sudden, you are selling your place. And you're like, wow, like that wasn't so hard, was it? No, it wasn't. The hardest thing is the first step. The only thing that keeps you from doing it is the fact that you keep listening to the ego that keeps telling you that you might fail or that there's a wrong time to do it. There is no wrong time to follow your dreams. There's never going to be the perfect straight time when everything is lined up for you to do it. As you are waiting for all the ducks to line up, life is going to pass you by. And then you're going to find yourself years later in the same situation, in the same place, with the same dream that you never did or take any action towards. And so the angels are really, really present here in letting you know and telling you. And I'm going to repeat the sentence that they gave you this morning. How can you even think that there may be the slightest possibility of failure if you have this thought, this feeling inside of you? Is because we gave it to you. Who's we? The consciousness of everything, and everything is one. You are one, all is one. You are everything. You are part of the divine. If you have a thought or a feeling, a desire inside of you that is like, I want to do this, and it's just lighting me up just thinking about it, why is that? It's because you're meant to do it. And that is it. So take that first step. Take it. This is the best time. You are so loved and so supported by the universe. You just need to do that very first thing that's so scary. I have done so many things that are so scary in my life, and I have put so many buts in front of them. And you know what? Each and every single one of them were not as horrible or as terrible or as difficult once I took the first step. Once I took the first step, I was on the other side. I think I just spoke about this on my last podcast, but they're just telling me this really, really strongly today that it just needs to be explained again. Perhaps many of you are dreaming of something, thinking of something, wanting to do something, and you just need this one push to get you there. When I started my healing business, I had been doing work for a while. I had been coached and supported by someone that I invested in so that they can lead me through and into discovering myself. And every single person that I was working with, and what I mean by working with, I mean the people in my group, that we were all learning, all doing things together on our own journeys. They would all tell me, you can do this, I can see that you can do that. And they would tell me, right? It's kind of like reading a book. This is what the book says, I can see it. Why can't you read it, right? They would tell me this, and I would listen, and I would believe them because I believe them, but I wouldn't believe them because my ego was right there saying, yeah, yeah, no, not, they just saying that. It's not really you. No, you really can't do it. Right? That was my ego, and that was the fear. The fear of I cannot actually do what these wonderful things that these people are saying about me. Who am I to claim that I can even think about doing what they're saying that I can do? Right? And it took a person, one of these people, to basically say, just do it right now, like kind of like getting a kick in the butt. And I was like, okay. And I was kind of like embarrassed about it. Like, wow, am I really dragging my feet that much? Really? And so I took that first step, that very, 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 very first step that is so incredibly scary. And what that step was, I put out in a group that I was giving free sessions to do what it is that I thought I could do. I didn't put it that way. I just said free energy sessions to relieve pain from your body in exchange for a testimonial. That's exactly what I did. And I had tons of people respond. So many, in fact, that my calendar filled up with all the times that I had available. They were all at night because I was still working full time, taking care of my child. So this all was happening after all of that. So like really late, like 8:30 at night, something like that. And and I did, and I started doing it, and I started meeting strangers online on through Zoom to do my session, and I would get the feedback, and they all told me or confirmed that what I was doing was actually happening. The scariest part was actually making that post and pressing send. No, actually, pressing send wasn't. It was just writing it, just putting it out there. That was the scariest thing. Everything else began to flow. Everyone knew this about me. My ego was keeping me back. Sometimes you need someone to kick you in the butt and say, okay, do it. Sometimes you need somebody to hold you by the hand and pull you up and say, come with me, come on, let's do it together. I'm going to stand right next to you until you do it. Do that one thing, do it, come on. And sometimes that's a little bit too aggressive for you, and you're like, you know what, I just don't really didn't want to do that. And then you just go away and you never speak to the person again. Come on, you have seen this in your life before. You have experienced things like this before. But when you know deep inside that this is the part that we as humans need to get over with so that we can continue to live our lives to the fullest, so that we can expand, so that we can really have everything that we desire in our lives because the universe supports you and gives you everything that you ask for, right? If you want to live your life that way, then perhaps you need a little kick in the butt, like I did. And if this right here is your little kick in the butt, then let me know, because I would love to know what it is that you were afraid of and how you felt after you actually took that first step. That is the scariest thing. Make that move, guys. Make that move. You cannot fail. The universe has your back. Everything is aligned for you to do the things that you were meant to do and be in this life. And what is that you say? It is the thing inside you that you continue to dream about. It's the things that you continue to, oh, I just wish I could. And you know what? You can. And don't give me a but. I know right now you're saying but. Nope, 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 no buts. Figure out what the first step is. What would happen? Let's say you wanted to be a nomad and just travel the world with a backpack. What would happen if you sold everything and just left? What would happen? Could you do it? Do you have any skills that you can begin to offer as you move along in exchange for food or shelter, perhaps? Do you think you can do it? Do you have someone that can do this with you? Do you want to do this alone? What is it? Right? Figure out what you want to do and then do it. And you will start to feel aligned when you start to see that everything starts to flow your way and that you're feeling so full of energy and so full of life inside. And then you're like, oh my goodness, I could have done this 5 years ago, 10 years ago, whatever it was, whatever it is for you. You're going to feel that and you're going to keep going because it was put in you for a reason. It was put in your heart because you were meant to do it. So, with that, oh my goodness, I love this message that came through today. Sending you so much love, so much energy, and so much courage to take that step today. I will see you soon. Bye bye.